Hi, Pops.
Good morning, Miss Vanessa. How are you?
Granddaughter. Good. I'm doing an interview for school, and I have to interview you about gardening.
Oh, that's great. I love gardening.
Good. Okay. These are your interview questions. You're going to get questions. I'm going to give everybody interview questions, okay? So you know what questions to ask the person you're interviewing. It's all here. So I'm reading everything on the list, and my grandpa is responding. Does everybody understand? Okay. Okay, Pop. What crops do you grow best?
Well, I think probably the things that I grow best are tomatoes, corn, maybe okra.
If you have any questions about what he said, like I don't know what okra is. So Pops, what is okra?
Okra is a plant that originated in Africa and it grows real tall and it's got these pods that look like, what do they look like, the pods?
You can cook them
Good.
But you can fry them or you can put them in stews and they're really slimy when you do that. But they're
Ew.
great when they're fried. But okra has a flower and then the pod comes out of the flower and it's actually the seed pod.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a fruit or a vegetable.
Fruit.
Fruit. Okay. But then there's just lots of different ways to cook it. It's a good southern favorite.
Okay. How long have you been growing?
Oh, all my life. No, I started probably when I was 6 or 8 years old, maybe younger than that, helping my mother and my grandfather in their garden.
So that's how you learned how to grow? How did you learn to grow?
I learned a lot from my parents and then from other people that I would go to their house, my aunts, my uncles, go to their house and help them in their gardens and learn different. Everybody does things differently, and you can learn different things from different people.
Where do you grow?
I like to grow in the bottomland. Do you guys know what bottomland is?
So
That's
what is bottomland, Pops?
Bottomland is the land that lays along the creek or a river where it's really where the flat spot is along a creek or something. And the reason that's good growing is because where that creek's ran through there, you get all the topsoil and sand and other things that wash in, and it just makes a good soil.
Do you grow with seeds?
I grow with seeds mostly. Some plants I start inside and set out. Plants like peppers and tomatoes and what else?
Carrots.
Carrots? Nah, you can grow those from seed and start them and set them out. But I usually just plant the carrot seeds. But mainly peppers, tomatoes, and eggplant. I would start them inside and set them out. And everything else I grow from seed.
What type of soil works best?
What type of soil works best? One that's really good and fertile. One that's a mixture of different soil types. Soil's made up of sand, clay, and humus. And if you got the right mixture, it all works. It makes a good soil that's easy to work and the plants can grow in. That's why the bottomland around the creek is good. It's a good mixture of all those.
Do you use fertilizer?
I do use fertilizer. My ancestors that came over from England years ago learned to plant corn from the Indians, from the Native Americans, and they taught them to use a fish head in with the corn for fertilize. That decomposes and makes great fertilize. But that's kind of impractical because I'd have to spend all my time fishing. That might not be a bad idea, and to get the fish heads to do that. So what we generally do is just clean the manure out of the barns where the cattle and the horses and the things are, and put that on our garden plot, and work that into the soil and use it for fertilizer. Sometimes we also have to supplement with a little bit of commercial fertilizer, but I try not to do that.
Your hands must be really stinky after the manure.
Oh, you got gloves.
Oh, okay. Smart. What months do you produce the most?
Probably in August and September. when everything really starts coming in good. Some things come in earlier. You start getting some crops of your early crops that you planted will be June, some in July, not much, but mainly in August and September.
Okay. What do you do with your vegetables after you harvest it? Does everybody know what harvesting means? Yes. Okay. Yes.
You pick them.
You pick them. Okay. So we have the question, what do you do with the vegetables you harvest?
Well, the best thing, and the first thing I do is when when the vegetables start coming in and we start picking them, is eat them fresh. Take them right in and cook them. That's the best thing. And then we do some canning and freezing to preserve them so we'll have some during the winter. And if we have any extra, we just give them to friends and neighbors.
Do you have a funny story about farming? Sure.
I can remember when I was a real young lad, maybe about you guys' age. How old are you guys? 8?
I'm 8. 7.
Okay. But when I was about that age, and my uncle had a mule that he plowed the field with, and he had his plow, and he was going down behind the mule plowing, and everything. He's going real good. And then a bee stung the mule, and the mule takes off down through the field, and it's going all through and just making all kinds of crazy things, and it, just really tore it up a whole lot. And I just couldn't help but just rolling and laughing, even though it wasn't very funny to him.
It's really funny. Sorry. Thank you. And what is your favorite recipe you've made from something in your garden?
You know what I think my very favorite thing out of the garden is, and it's not necessarily is cornbread. Cornbread, yeah. You have to wait till the fall when you get your field corn, and it gets hard, and you pick it or you pull it off, and you shell it, and you take it to a grist mill, and they grind it for you, and then you can make nice fresh cornbread, and just cook it in that iron frying pan, slice it open, fill it with butter. Ooh, that's good.
I don't eat it because it makes me salty.
Okay, that's the end of our interview. Does everyone understand how to do an interview?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
What's the camera for?
The camera